Yo, what's going on, guys? It's J-Mass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. So I'm currently in the city of Newport, Rhode Island. It's a very famous city in the middle of the Narragansett Bay, located on Aquidneck Island. And one of the most famous attractions here in Newport is the Newport Tower. And you can actually see the tower directly behind me. Now, the general history of this tower, what little is known, is that it was built in the mid-17th century. No one really knows by who, but it was built sometime in the mid-17th century as an agricultural structure. Some sources say it was used as a windmill, some sources say a corn mill. Whatever it was used in agriculture, and it was built in the 17th century. Now, that's the general story of the Newport Tower. The reason why this tower is so well known and famous, though, isn't because of that. It's because of all the crazy conspiracy theories about this. Most people actually believe that the Newport Tower is a pre-Columbian structure, which basically means that it originated here prior to Christopher Columbus's discovery of North America in 1492. So there are a lot of people who believe that the Newport Tower was constructed pre-1492. Now I'm going to tell you some of these crazy conspiracy theories, and then at the very end, we'll take a look at that and see, are these real or not? Spoiler, they're not. So as I mentioned, there are many conspiracy theories regarding the origin of Newport Tower. Now, one of the most famous and well understood conspiracy theories is that this is of Norse origin. Essentially, people think that the Vikings actually constructed the Newport Tower. Now, some other theories are that the Portuguese created this, the Spanish. There's also some people who think the Chinese actually created this. And another conspiracy theory that's well known are medieval Templars, specifically the Knights of Templar. So as you can see, there are many different theories regarding the origin of the Newport Tower. Now I'm going to give you a little close-up shot. As you can see, this is created out of stone. And the interesting thing is, in the 1990s, this was actually carbon dated. And the reason why we know this was built in the mid-17th century is because of that carbon dating. When they did the carbon dating here in the 1990s, that's when they found that it was likely built in 1680. That's the rough estimate. So all of those conspiracy theories are essentially null and void as of the carbon dating. So as you guys can see, there are many different theories regarding the origin of the Newport Tower here in Touro Park. And why do people believe all these things? I mean, why do people have so many different theories regarding the origin of Newport Tower? Well, I think it ultimately chalks up to the history of this place. From what we know, isn't that interesting. What we do know about the Newport Tower is that it was built in the mid-17th century, most likely by English settlers here in Newport, and it was probably just used in agriculture, whether a windmill or a corn mill. Nothing too interesting. And I think that people like to give this a more fascinating story. I mean, when you're here in the city of Newport walking around, especially here in Touro Park, and you come across this really crazy stone structure, it definitely catches your eye, and I think people like to give it a more unique story. But as I said, it's been carbon dated, there's been archaeological work on the site, and we've never come up with any concrete evidence that it was built pre-1492. It's most likely 17th century. But I would like to end this video off with giving my own theory. You know, how do I think this came to be? What do I think the origin is? Well, I personally think that the Newport Tower was built by aliens. I think that it was built by aliens who came from the Proxima Centauri region. I think they came here in UFOs and constructed this stuff. So I'm also joined by my friend Dan today in Newport, and he has his own theory about the origin of the Newport Tower. How do you think this came to be?
Well, if you see by the stonework, it's very clearly made by the brutal Edo-era shogun Seth MacFarlane as a home for his Family Man series, where Peter Griffin famously started the French Revolution. So clearly, I mean, that's what it was. You just look at the stone, it tells itself.
So yeah, guys, that was the Newport Tower here in Touro Park in the city of Newport, Rhode Island. Very iconic structure. And, you know, it's grabbed the minds of many people over the years. Obviously, a lot of people think it has really mystifying origins. There's, again, a very big culture of people who think that it has pre-Columbian origins, you know, pre-1492. Most likely, though, or I should say objectively, it was built in the 17th century as some sort of agricultural tool, most likely a windmill or a corn mill. I would say it was probably built by English settlers who settled here in Newport. But it's still a really cool place. I love the stone architecture. You don't see much like that anymore today, but it's a really cool, iconic location, and I just wanted to highlight that while I was here in Newport. But I don't know, Dan, what do you think about Newport Tower?
English alien farmers.
I agree. But hey guys, my name's been J-Mass. If you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites, history in New England, I'm always doing that on the channel, so feel free to subscribe. Or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been the iconic Newport Tower here in the city of Newport, Rhode Island. Very historic, very crazy. Catch you guys in the next one. See ya.